Ever feel like you're just going through the motions? Like you're there, but not really there.
You mean like you're watching your life through a window?
Yeah, exactly. You see everything, but you don't feel much of anything. Like a robot, I guess.
That sounds a lot like emotional numbness.
And that's exactly what we're diving into today.
And we're using this excerpt, Understanding Depression and Feeling Emotionally Empty, to help us.
Right. We'll try to understand what emotional numbness is, what causes it.
And how you can start feeling better.
Exactly.
Most people think emotional numbness is just like extreme sadness.
Right.
But it's actually way more complicated than that.
Yeah, it's like your emotions are there, but they're frozen.
Frozen. Perfect word.
It's a good thing we have you here to break it all down for us.
I'll do my best.
So, before we even got this deep dive request, a friend of mine was going through a rough time. And he was describing something similar. He said it was like his happy switch was just off.
Interesting.
Yeah. Like he got this huge promotion at work. Usually he'd be over the moon, right? Nothing.
Whoa!
And then like his dog was doing this like goofy trick, and he usually laughs until he cries, but nothing.
So it was like a part of him was missing.
Yeah, yeah. And that's what's so strange about it, right? It's not like you want to feel nothing.
Right. You don't wake up and say, today, I'm going to shut off all my emotions.
Exactly. But your connection to your emotions, it's like it's been cut off.
Exactly. And that can happen for so many reasons.
Yeah.
Like chronic stress.
Oh, yeah.
Past trauma that you haven't fully processed.
Right.
It could even be conditions like anxiety or depression.
Oh, so it's like your system's overloaded.
Right. Like your emotional circuits are just fried.
And then they just blow a fuse.
Perfect analogy.
Yeah.
But just like with a blown fuse, you need to figure out what caused the overload in the first place.
Okay, so how do we do that?
Well, this excerpt outlines some pretty clear signs of emotional numbness, and I bet some of them will sound really familiar.
Okay, like what?
Well, losing interest in things you used to love is a big one.
Okay, yeah, I see that in the excerpt too. Like they talk about this person who was obsessed with soccer.
Right.
And now they can't even be bothered to watch a game on TV.
Let alone play, right.
Yeah, exactly.
It's almost like your motivation battery is completely drained.
Totally drained. And you know what's even more frustrating?
What's that?
This numbness affects the good stuff too. Like, imagine it's your birthday. Everyone's excited. They got your presents, cake.
You're supposed to be happy.
Exactly. But you just feel nothing.
Not sad, not angry, just empty.
Empty. Yeah, exactly.
It's almost like there's this joy right there knocking at the door.
But it can't get in.
Right.
Okay, so how do you know if it's just a bad day or if it's this emotional quicksand we're talking about?
That's a great question. And the answer is you have to pay attention to your pattern. Like, are you consistently feeling disconnected? Is it affecting your relationships, your work?
Oh, that's a good point.
Yeah.
Like, can you still enjoy things?
Right. The excerpt also mentions this feeling of lacking purpose, like you're drifting,
Yeah, without a compass.
Exactly. And that can be really unsettling, especially if you're someone who always had goals and dreams for the future.
Okay, so this is all pretty heavy stuff. But, I mean, the excerpt does offer some hope, right?
Absolutely. It does.
So what can people do to start feeling better?
Well, what I find really encouraging is that many of the strategies are surprisingly simple and accessible.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah. Like engaging your senses is a great place to start.
Engaging your senses, what does that even mean?
Well, think about it, like how a certain song can instantly transport you back to a specific memory and emotion.
Oh, yeah.
Right. Or how the smell of freshly baked cookies can make you feel all warm and fuzzy inside.
Yeah, I get that, like comfort and home.
Exactly. For me, just being in nature is a huge reset. Like being around trees, fresh air, even just the sound of birds chirping.
Oh, me too. It's like my whole body just relaxes.
Right. There's actually research that shows that spending time in nature can lower cortisol, which is the stress hormone.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
Yeah. And creative activities can be really helpful too, like drawing, painting, even just doodling.
Oh, interesting.
It's like giving your feelings a voice, even if you don't have the words for them yet.
Okay, so we've got engaging the senses. What else?
Mindfulness.
Oh, come on.
Really? I know, you're rolling your eyes, but hear me out.
Right, fine.
It doesn't mean you have to become a meditation guru or anything.
Okay, good.
It's just about taking a few moments each day to tune into your breath, your body, your surroundings.
Okay, yeah, I can do that.
It's really grounding, especially when you're feeling emotionally adrift. And then there's journaling.
Oh, yeah. I've heard that's helpful.
It is, and it doesn't have to be a whole novel.
Right.
Just jotting down a few thoughts or feelings can give you a lot of clarity and self-awareness.
Makes sense. Anything else?
Well, the excerpt also talks about the importance of connecting with loved ones.
Okay, so spending time with people you care about.
Yes, but in a way that feels safe and pressure-free.
That's important. Like, it's not about forcing yourself to be the life of the party when you're feeling numb.
No, not at all. It's about finding those people who let you just be without any judgments or expectations.
Yeah, I like that. So what's the main takeaway for our listeners today?
Well, emotional numbness isn't a life sentence.
That's good to know.
It's not. By recognizing the signs, understanding the pauses, and taking those small steps towards feeling better.
You can start to reclaim your emotional life.
Exactly.
So I have a question for our listeners.
Okay.
What's one thing you can do today to engage your senses or reconnect with yourself? Maybe it's listening to your favorite song, taking a walk in nature, or even just writing down 3 things you're grateful for.
It's all about taking those small steps.
It's a journey, for sure. And remember, it's okay to ask for help along the way.